Hi, welcome to class. This is hips, knees and ankles. It's kind of like a functional mobility style yoga class with lots of moves that I learned from my fantastic somatics teacher, Lydia. You will need a block for this. So if you don't have a block, I think something like a rolled up towel would be a good option. Something that's about that kind of dimension and reasonably solid. And I have doubled my mat as well, just for a little bit of extra comfiness for my knees and my toes. That's not necessary, but you might like a blanket for a bit of padding. Let's come down on our backs and we're going to bring the block underneath the tailbone, keeping the low back free as always. Settle yourself, wiggle your shoulders a little bit further away from your pelvis. Make sure your pelvis feels stable. And then let's bring the legs up in the air. And you're going to try and bring the toes and the knees together. And keep your big toe and your knees together, even if you've got a little gap between your ankles. And then just bend at the knee and straighten the legs a few times, keeping the knees over the hips while you do this. So like you've got a little mermaid tail and you're flapping it on a rock. You could roll your knees and your toes in towards one another, get a more of an internal hip rotation and see what that feels like. And then maybe roll your feet out like first position. Try and keep the knees together. That's a bit trickier. So more of an external rotation. And then come back together and just open and close. Couple more. And then let's straighten the legs. Draw your lower abdominals down towards the ground, and you might hold on to the block and just bring the legs down, keeping them together to the point where your back starts to want to arch and pull away from the ground, and then bring the legs back up again. And you might find as you go, there's a certain point you've got to engage your core that you might be able to bring the legs down a little bit lower using your abdominals. So that's 3, 4. Watch you're not overly arching your back. 5. Let's try one more. And 6. Good job. Bring the knees in, hands on the knees, draw big circles like butterfly wings in both directions. And then bring your feet down, lift your seat to take the block out, and now bring the block width-wise between your thighs or between your shins, but basically between your knees. So the knees will be back over the hips here. Think about drawing your core in to support your back, squeezing that block between your knees. Find an external rotation of the hip. So the feet are trying to come towards one another and the hips are turning out. And then an internal rotation of the hips. Your feet are trying to come out and knees holding the block. And move through that, internal and external. Notice that gentle pull you get on your tailbone here. So this is really, really nice for just flossing out the tendons around your tailbone. Maybe one more. And then bring that block out. You could take a big stretch. Bring yourself up to sit on your tailbone with your heels planted. Bring the block back in between your knees, in between your thighs here. And you might lean back, or you might be able to just kind of stay up. See how you go. Again, internal, external rotation. Maybe you can bring your hands off. And then maybe let's try an internal rotation of the hips. So feet are out and lowering down the ground. And come back up, and then an internal rotation. Feet pointing in. Ooh, feel the difference. That is quite spicy on the hip flexors. Let's try external again. Squeeze the block, coming down, and then internal. And coming up. Bring the legs out in front of you, up on your sit bones. A little forward fold. Couple of big breaths. Coming back up. Bring your left hand to the side of your left hip so that you can lean in. And we're going to reach down, take hold of maybe just the back of the knee, maybe the ankle, or maybe the foot. Draw your knee up towards your underarm, like you're pulling a bow and arrow, and then flip so that you can bring the foot behind you. Get a quad stretch, so you're leaning onto your left hip while you do this. Come back forward. You might straighten your leg here. Bring it down and let your body come forward a little bit. So draw the knee in, flip and find your quad stretch. Come back. Maybe you straighten and forward. Twice more. Draw it back. Lean and quad stretch. Come back forward. Little hamstring stretch. And forward last time. Come back up. And then bring left foot in towards the inside of that thigh. Arms can come up. And then you could forward fold towards that leg. Alternatively, with the left hand, take hold of the outside of the shin or the side of the foot and right fingertips behind you. Three nice big breaths. Nice stretch to the outside of the hip and the IT band, but also to the lower left side of the back, the QL, where it slots into the top of the pelvis. And come back up. Okay, let's take that to the other side. So you're taking hold of the back of the knee, the calf, the foot, wherever works for you. Drawing it in. Lean onto your right hand to find that quad stretch. Come back forward. You can straighten the leg and let it take you forward. See how it feels on this side compared to the other side. Is it easier? Is it tougher? Do you feel the sensations in different parts of the body? One more. So draw it in, back, hamstring, and forward. Come up, right foot in. Find some length in your spine, and then your forward fold, or maybe take the right hand to the outside of the calf, left fingertips behind you. Few nice slow breaths. And gently come up, and let's come over the knees. Take a few rounds of cat-cow just to loosen up the low back. Keep the toes lightly tucked here. And then we're going to fully tuck the toes. You might lean back, tuck those little ones out the way. And you might just stay on your hands and push back into your feet a little bit. You might more kind of come down onto your forearms. Or you might be able to start walking your hands in and coming up to sit on your tucked toes. And you might just take a little bounce here or shift the weight a little bit side by side. If you're up like this, let's bring the arms up, find a frame. Just open up the shoulders and open up the chest a little bit. Have a little bit of a wiggle. Bit of a side bend. Circle. Come off your toes. Tap them out. Let's step the right foot back. Press into the heel. Pushing the back of the knee up towards the ceiling. And then the other side. And then come up onto your knees. So lift your feet and circle the ankles as slow and deliberate as possible. Really finding those big circles. Come back towards your tucked toes, but this time bring your block or your towel, shift the weight so that you can bring your block underneath your knees, so that your knees are kind of about the same height as your ankles. And you might just walk the hands forward, push the hips back, get a big stretch here. Or you might have the hands a little bit more in and start to shift back and then tap your knees to the block. Maybe as you shift back, you can widen the knees, drop your seat into a little squat, and come forward and tap your knees. You get a bit of a reach in your squat, and then come forward. So this is a lot about ankle strength and mobility. Yeah, maybe one more, or maybe come back to your squat and draw those circles with your knees, hip mobility and ankle strength. Ooh, it is spicy at the front of my ankles there. Come forward, come off your toes, tap them out, pop the block where you can reach it, and let's walk the hands forward, tuck the toes, and stretch out in a down facing dog. Press into one foot and then the other. Really getting back into the Achilles and into your heel. Let's bring the right leg up. Great big long stretch. Try and get the front of the leg pointing down towards the ground. Push the ground away with your arms, shoulder blades reaching your ears. Big strong line. Bring the knee to the chest and step your toes by your right thumb. And let's drop the back knee. Take a nice big stretch here for a moment. And then press to come up. Let's find that frame again. And open up the chest. And open up the shoulders a little bit. And then release the arms. Shift your hips back so that your hip is over your knee. And you might just keep your hands down, or you might bring them up. Come up onto your front toes and push a little bit into the toes, and then bring the heels down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Circle the hands, shift the hips, plant that back foot for your pyramid. And you might want a block or even 2 blocks here. And just shift the weight back a little bit and forward a little bit, first of all. Leveling out your hips. And then maybe you can shift the hips back. You might bend the back knee and bring your right toes up for 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Leave that right foot where it is and bring your left knee down right next to it, and bring your seat down onto your left heel and bring your foot in quite close. And you're going to bring your upper body over your thigh, press your weight down, and you'll find that as you press your weight down, your heel lifts, and then try and press your heel towards the ground. Super active, getting into the Achilles. Just press, weight on your leg, and press your heel down. For 3, 2, and 1. Come out of it, plant the hands, step back, down dog, and you could lift that right leg again, circle the foot one way, and circle it the other, and then bring that foot down. Let's bring the left leg up, stretch it away from the ground, try and get the knee pointing down towards the ground. Big strong line, knee to chest. Step the foot next to your left thumb and drop the back knee in. First off, a little stretch through the front of your hip. And then you might come up and find that frame and open your chest a little bit. Pressing the whole of the front foot down. Circle the arms. Bring your hip back over your knee. You might draw that foot in a little bit more. Bring the arms up and then up onto tiptoes and really press solidly into those front toes. And then heel down and heel up. 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hands can come down. Lift the hips towards pyramid, planting that back foot. Maybe with your block, maybe you don't need it. Shift the weight a little bit, backwards and forwards. Leveling out your hips. And then maybe you lift up your toes and bring them down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring your right knee next to your left foot in this little crouch. Upper body presses down all your weight on your thigh. Press the heel towards the ground. Press that knee down. Press into the heel. For 3, 2, and 1. Plant the hands. Let's step back. Down facing dog. And roll to your plank. Knees down, elbows in, chin and chest. And release your toes. Draw your heart through for cobra. Take a big breath. And back to your down dog. Check in with the back of your legs, back of your knees, how they're feeling. Let's lift the right leg, bend the knee, open up the hip, take a big circle one way and a big circle the other way, and then step towards your right hand. Bring your knee down, release your toes, and then really press your right foot down, engage through your pelvic floor and your glutes, press into the top of your back toes and lift your knee, and then slowly lower it for 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come up, make a frame, open your chest, circle the hands down, tuck your back toes to lift your hips to find your pyramid, and this time bring the toes straight up and pop your block in. And then see if you can come over your back toes again. There we go. And press into the block and into your back toes for 1, 2, spicy, 3. Come over your toes and take the block out. Shuffle that foot back. Left hand can come down. Right arm comes up. Find a twist. Throw the ball forward. Rotate the body. Bring it inside that knee. Press elbow to knee. Find your left arm up. And then throw the ball. Stretch your hips back. And bring them forward. Stretch them back. And bring them forward. One more. You might lower the knee here in your lizard pose. Circle the right arm back and bring your foot to your hand. Looking back over your shoulder. And let it go. Let's press back to plank. Knees down, chin and chest. Through to cobra. And back to your down facing dog. Notice how your right hip feels compared to your left. Let's lift the left leg, bend the knee, big circle one way. Big circle the other way. And step it towards that left hand. Bring your knee down, release your toes, press into that left foot, engage your core, your glutes, your pelvic floor, press up and lower. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5. Come up, find that frame. Open your chest. Circle the hands. Tuck the toes to lift up to find your pyramid. Let's lift the toes, pop the block in, shift the weight forward, see if you can come, there we go, over your toes. And get that stretch for 1. Spicy. 2. Press the weight down for 3. Come back onto your right foot. Take the block out. Slide your right foot back. Right hand down. Open up into a twist. Rotate the chest. Throw the ball forward. Bring it down to the inside of your foot. Press down. Find your twist. Circle. Throw the ball. Shift your hips back. And shift your hips forward. Shift them back. And forward. Open up the back of the knee one more. Forward, and you could lower that back knee. You stay in your lizard or circle that left arm back and bring your foot to your hand. Release it. Bring the hand forward. Let's step back. Find your plank, your knees, chin and chest, and release. And bring your heart through. Coming back towards a child's pose. Walk your hands off the right. Stretch your left hand as far away from you as you can. Bring the right hand down towards your knee. And bring your forehead down towards your knee as well. Get a great big stretch all the way down, left shoulder, left armpit, your lats, all the way down to that left hip. Lift up, walk the body across the other way. Right hand stretches out, left hand to support you. Bring your head down towards your knee. Great big stretch through the right side of the body, underarm. Big breath into the stretch. Walk your hands back in. Let's come over the hips and gently down onto your back. Over cross, right thigh over left, and draw the knees in. And you might just stay here, or you might slide to take hold of your feet like the handlebars of a bike, drawing them away from one another and down towards the ground. Feel a big stretch into the piriformis, the deep inside of your right glute. Keep your tailbone pressing towards the ground. Gently, gently let go. Let your left foot come down to the ground. Move your hips a little bit to the right. Let the knees fall to the left. You could bring your right arm out to the side. And press that shoulder blade a little bit closer down towards the ground. Tuck the tailbone underneath. Gently unwrap. Come back to the middle of your mat. Let's overwrap. Left thigh over right. Draw in. You might just hold there, or you might find your feet. Draw them down and away from one another. Nice slow breaths. One more big squeeze. And then you can release, bring the right foot down, hips to the left, knees over to the right. Relax your tummy. Let it be soft. Let the back of your head be heavy. Gently, gently let that go. Roll back onto your back. Check in if there's any other little movements your body wants. You can just stretch everything out. Come to a resting position, maybe get a blanket, get cozy, and really focus on the sensations from your hips, the inside of your hip joint, down the quad, the glute, the hamstring, back of the knee, the calf, the back of the ankle, and all through the feet. And feel the little tingles the increased blood flow, maybe a bit of extra spaciousness inside some of those joints as well. I hope you found this a really supportive, playful practice. Thanks for practicing with me as always, everyone. I'll see you soon.